Hi, I'm Brandon Reyes with TRU Ball Release and AXCEL sites, and I have some new and exciting products to show you here on our 25th anniversary for TRU Ball Archery. This particular item is going to be an AXCEL Archery product, and it's our new adjustable offset bracket. As you can see here, I've got one mounted to my bow, and there's 4 key features that I want to tell you about. The first is the new patent-pending TriLock system. The second is an anchor grip system. The third is the CenterLock quick disconnect. And the fourth is the rod lock on the side here. So I'm going to just slowly go through all 4 of those items and explain to you what they are. The patent-pending TriLock adjustable offset block gets its name by these 3 raised surfaces on this attachment piece here. You can see that the 3 raised surfaces, after I've sprayed powder on and inserted it into the mating piece, which is a circle, and we all know that a circle is not exactly perfectly circle, this has 3 points of contact, so that's going to give us the tightest, most possible fit into that piece when we lock our bolt down. And what that in turn does is gives us the most possible secure adjustment. So with that, I'm going to move on and show you the next item, which is the anchor grip. The anchor grip is a second locking system in addition to the bolts, the 1/4 inch bolts that are going to be actually tightening your system down. So the first thing I want to do to show you how this works is you always have to loosen the actual anchor grip, and I'll point it out a little easier when it's more open here to show you what it is, but loosen your actual anchor grip screw, which is on top here, and then now, which is our secondary lock, and now this is our initial lock, the big 1/4 inch bolt. So I'm going to pull this out just a little bit to where you can actually see the teeth. Now this is a teeth mechanism to where you can pivot forward and back to select a tooth that's going to lock that down and only ensure what little movement there is or what little clearance there is in those teeth to be able to move. So once you move it and find your location, lock your 1/4 inch bolt back down, and you can see that now I'm in the teeth. I can only go that far, 45-degree angle from top to bottom. So if I want to go a little more and I don't get that with the tooth that I selected, back this bolt out again, pull the whole system, the TriLock system out, select the next set of teeth, lock it back down, and now I have a new range of 45 degrees. So that's where I want my bar. I'm going to lock the initial 1/4 inch bolt down and then my secondary TriLock bolt. Always remember to loosen your TriLock bolt first, and this is it, and then when you're complete with your setup, lock it down last. So the anchor grip technology alone by itself in a position all the way down is strong enough to hold your bar in place without any type of movement. So after a long round of shooting, if you have it in this position, the anchor grip itself would hold your bars tight. However, with the initial bolt, the initial locking bolt, and the anchor grip technology, it's just that extra added safety. So in the up and down motion where you're most likely to see your bar move, this whole system and both of its locks will be the most secure setting you can actually get. So that is the new anchor grip, and like I mentioned, it's a fully adjustable in 45-degree increments, and it's going to come standard on all the adjustable offset mounts. The next item is going to be the CenterLock quick disconnects. As you can see in our actual CenterLock quick disconnect video, the description and the way that this particular item works, but it's just like the one that I demonstrated on the front bar as the back bar. You simply put your barrel nut onto your back bar or whatever type of offset bracket bar you're going to use. Tighten it down. These require a full rotation, a full turn of rotation on your stabilizer to actually come off. So if it does come loose, it's not going to fall off of your bracket, and that's all because of the design of this barrel nut. This barrel nut has a flange on the side of it that allows the actual bar to stay engaged into your bracket until that full rotation is made. So you can see it's smooth on one side and then it's got the flange or the lip on the other side. That's the patent pending technology behind the CenterLock quick disconnect and the barrel nut. So now the last item that I'm going to show you on the new adjustable offset mount is this cool little feature on the side here that's called a rod lock. Now this rod lock is going to ensure when set up adequately, if I push a lot of pressure down, this is going to be wedged up against the side of my riser, not allowing this bar to move. There's been many instances when top shooters in the world have had bars move, thus disrupting the tune of their bow, actually hitting the limb, cam, whatever. This is going to prevent that. This is another method of allowing zero movement that we have designed to make this adjustable offset bracket the most leading technology that you can get. So that's really cool. I'm going to kind of go through this. I'm going to take it off of my bow because it's going to be easier to show you how it manipulates and works. But I can put this right or left-handed, and I can put it up close to the front of the riser here or way out to the riser here in all configurations in both hands to get whatever length that I want. So this bar will be customizable for any type of shooter with any width that they want on their bars, and still have the ability to lock here with the rod lock and not move, as well as the two locking mechanisms on the actual bar itself. So now that I have my new adjustable offset bracket mounted, and I've decided that I need a little bit more length as far as getting my bar out away from the bow, it's a simple two-step process to get that done. So I'm going to take the bracket off the bow just because it's a little easier to do this with the system off. I'm going to take my anchor grip screw on the top here, take it completely out, set it also aside. Now this whole system won't come apart, so you're good. But what you're going to see is there's a screw hole on the top and another one on the bottom. So we're going to rotate at 180 degrees and then put our anchor grip screw back in and snug it up. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a 1/16 Allen wrench, and there's a safety screw that allows this dovetail piece from coming off that you're going to remove and set it aside because we'll reinstall it shortly. And now we're going to take our rod lock off, and if you get kind of confused of what direction it needs to go, you can simply put your bar up here, and then you'll see that I'm going to try to keep this bar from dropping down, so I need it to be on my bow in this position to be able to get the maximum length on my screw here. So I'm going to put the dovetail back in like this, put my security screw back in, and now you can see we're all the way out at the end of the hole, giving us more length out. And I will also reference that if you're taking this from a right hand to a left hand, you're going to do the very same procedure to do this. So now I've got my bar out farther. You'll see that from the video we've moved from more of the center of the bracket all the way out to the end. And now I can slide my rod lock in up against the riser and then lock it down with a 5/64 Allen wrench. So now with that x-axis movement, this is going to keep my bar from moving because my rod lock is up against my riser, and I've got the length I've needed to attain by shifting all of this out and moving my system here on the top with the anchor grip from one side to from the top to the bottom. So that's the new adjustable offset bracket, extending the length and changing the anchor grip from top to bottom. So my final demonstration on the new adjustable offset mount is to take it from this standard configuration and simply change it to left-handed. It's 2 easy steps. So what I'm going to do, it's just because it's easier, is take it off the bow. So the only 2 steps I have to do is to move the CenterLock quick disconnect from the back on a right. So now we're going to move it to the front for the left. So you simply loosen the TriLock bolt on the bottom, and we're going to flip it 180. and lock it back down just to get in the correct direction. And then we're going to change our rod lock from one side to the other. So we'll take our safety screw out here, set it aside, loosen our rod lock, and like I mentioned earlier, if you want to make sure you correctly get it on there like it's supposed to be, you can kind of put it up there and kind of see what direction it needs to be. So we need to be like this, because we're going to be pulling down is going to be the most torque. So that's the correct position. And now we're ready to mount this on our left-handed bow. And we're going to be coming out the right side of the riser with our rod. And we have our rod lock on the top to prevent any movement. And now that's ensured that I'm shooting a left-handed system out the right side of the bow. So that's taking it from a right hand to a left hand on the new adjustable offset mount by AXCEL Archery. For more information about this mount or any other products from AXCEL Archery or TruBall Archery, check us out on our websites at www.truballarchery or www.axcelarchery.com.